City University of Hong Kong is an international university which emphasizes the integration of research and teaching. The university promotes diversified, cross-cultural studies through various educational programs. To promote our educational vision, City University of Hong Kong produced a series called Beyond Boundaries, Dialogue with Presidents of World's Leading Educational Institutions. Professor Wei Guo, President of City University of Hong Kong, talks to presidents of universities and principals of high schools around the world, exploring each other's strengths and looking forward to the future direction of educational development. Tel Aviv University in Israel has a unique logo. 3 black circles symbolizing the ongoing pursuit of the unknown, at first unclear and then glimpsing something more coherent until the revelation of new knowledge. The university was established in 1956 with the merger of 3 research institutions: the Tel Aviv School of Law and Economics, the Institute of Natural Sciences, and the Institute of Jewish Studies, initially operated by the Tel Aviv municipality. Tel Aviv University was granted autonomy in 1963 and became a national public university. Now, Tel Aviv University is the largest university in Israel. For a young country facing major challenges arising from limited natural resources and challenging geopolitical situation, Tel Aviv University has undoubtedly made a vital contribution to the development of Israel's society, economy, science, and technology, serving as the mainstay of this startup nation. The university has turned out many talented graduates who excel in all spheres of the economy, society, and culture. Some of them have become political leaders of the country, including 1 prime minister and 9 ministers. According to the 2021 PitchBook Universities report, Tel Aviv University was ranked 8th on the list of global top 50 universities producing the most venture capital-backed entrepreneurs. Tel Aviv University also promotes a multidisciplinary approach to research in neuroscience, environmental studies, cardiac research, cancer research, energy studies, nanoscience, and cultural studies. Tel Aviv University is particularly renowned for its R&D in the field of medicine. In 2019, researchers at the university successfully printed the world's first 3D vascularized engineered heart using a patient's own cells and biological materials. Today, we are honored to invite Professor Ariel Porat, President of Tel Aviv University, to share with us his unique experience and vision of leading the largest, most central, and most influential academic institution in Israel. Professor Wei Guo, President of City University of Hong Kong, is well known for his research on the reliability of electronic systems and nuclear energy. In his early years, he worked at Bell Laboratories in the United States, who held the position of department head and dean of the School of Engineering in an American university. and was conferred academicians in various countries. Professor Wei Kuo has served as the president of CityU for more than 10 years. His philosophy of education is summarized in the lyrics of the CityU anthem, which he wrote, "Learn and question beyond boundaries." Professor Wei Kuo has also published several books about education. He is particularly concerned about the challenges facing contemporary education around the world.
You mentioned neuroscience. We have another issue, bioethics. Bioethics, perhaps you don't have much problem, but still, similar to academic freedom, it's a two-edged sword. We have academic freedom, but we should not be abusive in using it. Likewise, the bioethics is not, we have freedom to do research, but we should look at ethics issue.
Right, of course. I know, of course, what you mean. At Tel Aviv University, at least during my term, there was not any issue that I could remember about these kind of dilemmas. Of course, there could be, as you rightly mentioned. You know, with everything which is good, people might abuse it, right? And the same thing also with science. So there could be some limits to what universities should allow if they see that there is a kind of an abusive behavior, like using science in order to get goals which might be, you know, terrible, you know, racist or whatever. But I think that I would say the default should be that researchers could search in any field they want with no constraint, could do whatever they like. And if there are very extreme situations that we need a different rule, maybe. But as I said, it's almost unheard of in Israeli institutions that academic research is limited for those kind of reasons. Could happen, but you know, speaking about you know, relationship between ethics and science, at the university we established recently a center for AI and data science, right? And generally, you know, we have multidisciplinary centers of the university. Maybe later on, if you like, I would be very happy to talk more about it. But so we established a center for AI and data science. And the idea of this center is a multidisciplinary center. Generally, the concept is that at the core of the center we have scientists of AI and data science, and we have links to all departments of the university, because AI and data science is an engine for all fields, including my own field, which is law. And here too there are ethical questions about what could or could not be done with technology. You know, using AI, say, to replace, you know, in my area, to replace human judges. Is it good or not? Does it create ethical problems? Would it create biases that maybe do not exist today? Of course, there are counter-arguments which says that judges are sometimes biased and maybe AI would do better. You know, there was an experiment 8 years ago at Harvard when researchers show that sometimes AI do much better than judges in certain areas, right? Their experiment was on bail cases in which judges has to decide whether to release a suspect. And what is special about those cases that in a retrospect you know whether the judge was right or wrong. For example, if the suspect, after being released on bail, escaped or committed another crime, we know that in retrospect that the judge was wrong, and they showed on tens of thousands of cases that the algorithm that they constructed actually did better than the judges. So here too there are all kinds of issues on ethics and others as well, and in this center we deal also with those kind of issues. So ethics, science, ethics and business, and these are issues that should be discussed and studied very carefully at universities, including Tel Aviv University. But your question, which is more about whether we want to limit research because of ethical reasons, so my answer is it should be very, very rare and never happened in my term as far as I know.
The Tel Aviv University has actively promoted multidisciplinary research in recent years and established a multidisciplinary research center. The center has brought researchers from different disciplines together to drive new academic research and breakthroughs.
Data science nowadays help everybody to make decisions, but I think still important. We should not be the slave of data science, and data science support to help us, to facilitate us to make a decision. Eventually, it's the human being who will make a tough decision, but data science can analyze complicated problems and that beyond our imagination. Right. So, but you're right. I think we should study and look into this. Yeah. And also, data science probably don't take care of bioethics issue either.
Yeah, but they could. They could. Yeah. Everything could incorporate it, at least theoretically, into the algorithm, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you're definitely right that we should not be slaves of AI and technology. That's for sure. But at the same time, we should not be too reluctant to make use of technology. I myself published a few months ago a book on personalized law. And part of it is using AI in the service of law, right? You could imagine a world in which you and I drive a car and we are subject to a different speed limit because we have different skill sets as drivers, right? And this is something that cannot be done without technology, but if you have technology, maybe that could be done. So, and there are many other examples in law that technology could really improve the law, but it could improve many other areas as well.
Well, you mentioned customized, design or speed. I think those are really, really good. I agree with you that we should have take advantage of the technologies and tools around us. In fact, that's the reason that we have science, in a very broadly defined, the science. So they help us to make our living more enjoyable.
Right, and one of the things that we try to do at the university also to combine science with society, and to combine science with industry. And I think this is another very important characteristic of Tel Aviv University, right? Improving and trying to do transnational medicine, transnational science in a way that is not done in other places. Because of this, that after all, technology and science should serve society. Of course, basic science is as important as transnational science, but we try to leverage on our ability, as a startup nation and a university which is part of the startup nation, also to leverage on that.
Actually, there are two things I hope you can talk a little bit more. It's multidisciplinary research, and look like we are not working on things based on our silos, boundaries, but we still have our own disciplines. And the other thing is related to the connection to the industry, that Tel Aviv University and other universities have been performing so well. And sometimes people feel that if you work too close to industry, it sacrifices your basic research. And that's not true in Israel.
Yeah, I agree. So actually there are two questions here. One is about the multidisciplinarity and another one about industry. So let me take them one by one. Sure. So as to multidisciplinarity, I totally agree with you. I think that sometimes, breakthroughs or new inventions comes from interaction between two disciplines that seems to be unrelated to each other. And since at Tel Aviv University, we are a very comprehensive university. And we have actually the most comprehensive one in Israel, and even comparing to other top universities abroad, we are exceptionally comprehensive. So every field of knowledge you can think of exists here. So we thought that we want to leverage on that to derive an added value from this comprehensibility. And what we had done in recent years, we established 5 new multidisciplinary research centers that combine researchers from sciences, from core sciences, with humanities and social sciences. So for example, I mentioned before the AI and data science, which is one center that we established a couple of years ago. The idea of this center is that you have the scientists on AI and data science with links to all units in the campus. In fact, we are going to be, as far as I know, the first university in the world that next year is going to offer to students in economics, in law, in psychology, in biology, a cluster of courses in AI, not just one course for general knowledge, but really much more than that. Another center that we established recently, another one, multidisciplinary, is on climate change. There is another one on combating pandemics. And the fourth one is on aging, the one I have mentioned that we do together with Columbia University. We have a fifth one on science, on quantum science and technology. And we are in a process of establishing more and more centers in order to encourage collaborations between scientists and working on mathematics, computer science, engineering, and so on, with researchers from humanities and social sciences. Let me say a few words about the relationship with the industry. So it's with the industry, but also with part of it is also with the hospitals which are affiliated to Tel Aviv University. Tel Aviv University has a department which is called Ramot, or an office which is called Ramot, which commercialize inventions and patents done by researchers at Tel Aviv University. This is, it exists in any university, I believe. We also have something which does not exist in many universities, which is Tau Ventures. Tau Ventures is an incubator together with, combined with venture capital fund of, now it's about $50 million, which support startups in their early stages, startups which are established by alumni of Tel Aviv University. And that initiative has been established about 4 years ago, and until now seems to be very successful. So this is another way to create a relationship with the industry. What to do in the incubator, we also bring firms that might be interested in the technologies offered by those startups and make the connection between them. Another thing that we established at the university just recently is what we call T-Labs, or Tel Aviv University Innovative Labs. It's inspired by the Media Lab at MIT, and here the idea is to take about 10 laboratories, or which are to create a kind of a hub composed of 10 laboratories which are especially attractive to the industry, put them in one location, in one premises, and offer firms who are interested in the technology to have a kind of a club. Each one pays an annual fee to participate in that club. They could look at the inventions made at the laboratories, and they have non-exclusive rights to use it. And this is another way to strengthen relationship with the industry.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to carry out this conversation with Professor Porat, president of Tel Aviv University. he has just said something I think is really something that we all have to take a listen about it. The university can be a bridge among the different society community. They have also collaborated with many other universities in different countries and promote their students to let them to have along the way of the startup companies. That seems to be a trend to many other universities in the whole world. We thank you very much. We also thank President Perret for this very useful conversation.
In the next episode, Professor Wei Guo, President of City University of Hong Kong, will visit KU Leuven in Belgium with the audience. With nearly 600 years of history, KU Leuven is the oldest extant Catholic university in the world. According to Thomson Reuters, KU Leuven has been ranked multiple times as the most innovative university in Europe. The university is committed to applying scientific and technological research as well as knowledge transformation to society.